So, according to all of the best information I can find, based on real-world science, I cannot find any actual information about birds that have their wings burned off.
Yeah.
Because most birds that do that just die, and then now they're cooked.
They should have had 70 HP.
Right. But most of this information I find says it takes 12 months for a bird's wings to recover after catastrophic damage.
It happens. Whatever, dude. You didn't get a reaction from me when you ripped my eyes out. You
now,
can get one for this.
We have to figure out how long it's been since Windy has last molted.
Oh, jeez.
So I figure we make Nodal roll a d12.
I'm never going to turn down rolling a die.
Especially a d12. When does anyone in this campaign ever roll a d12?
Right now.
Last time, I think.
Wait till I get my battle axe.
Last time we did, I think, was glue.
7.
7. What is Windy's normal fly speed?
70.
It's 70?
Yeah.
Okay, 70 divides by 7, pretty nice. I'll say that Windy gets 10 feet of fly speed back per month until it's back to normal. And all of her plumage has grown back in. Something tells me we'll be taking a lot of downtime after this whole ladder nonsense is done.
No, never.
Adrex and Windy can both learn to fly together. It'll be great.
And the next scene, Adrex is going to cut the rope as she's coming up.
Fly!
Curse your son when they roll a troll.
So
Windy just rolls at the bottom and then looks up at him.
Now,
and then runs up the wall.
I want you to correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But your wish was stated as, I want you to give me something that will let me help people the way I helped you.
Yeah.
And she nods once, and then vanishes in this curl of smoke. And laying on the ground where she was, you find a set, a hammer and chisel, identical to the ones you used to break the floor and free her spikes.
Man, I was hoping you'd get your eyes back.
What do you mean? I have my eyes. They're right over there. See, they got little flames in them.
Adrex looks at him. Yeah, I still got flames on.
Honestly, I think Nodal dodged a bullet here.
Okay. They are, in every conceivable way, identical to the ones you just used. So now you have 2 sets.
Alright. If Windy was a less curious person, she would just put them away, but she's not.
They were
immediately gonna...
Yeah, they're fine.
Huh.
You chisel your name into the floor.
Yeah.
When Windy was here.
Windy shrugs.
A little heart with an arrow through it.
Ties a little piece of string around it so she remembers which ones are the questionable ones.
Wait, which ones are the questionable ones?
The ones with the string.
Is that the first wish I've ever given you guys? I must have given you one before.
No, you have not. You've never given us a wish until now.
That was
the best wish ever.
Eldov cast wish a bunch of times.
Oh, right.
No, I didn't. You wouldn't let me.
Terran.
Terran
Wish a bunch of times.
Nath cast wish. But he did boring things like emulated other spells.
Yeah, I don't think I ever used the non-spoof a spell version of Wish.
I mean, that's the safe way to do it.
I mean, it was super effective. Like,
Nath is nothing if not safe, but effective.
What's next?
Alright, well, I guess she was what was producing the heat, so now maybe it would be safer to get down in the icky.
did we ever check out room 9?
This is one large L-shaped room that connects back in this way. So
okay, they are connected.
both of the doors go in. On either side of the door, you see a mechanism which you can operate to twist and turn the platform outside of the doors.
Well, I guess that means it's up to Adrex to fly up there and see if there's anything higher up. We still haven't figured out how to actually use this stair.
I mean...
The only other thing
takes a lot of strength.
The only other thing we haven't done is chipped out that piece of metal underneath the sarcophagus, right? Or screwed around with the xylophone some more.
Yeah. So do you think we should go and see if we can spend a few days, spend a little while, take a break, and try and excavate that?
Somebody can do that over the course of a long rest, but that person wouldn't be able to take a rest.
I think when he wants to take a rest, you want to just take a full rest and then work on that?
Yeah, I need a long rest. I didn't need a short rest.
Yeah.
Because I used all my hit die before, by the way.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hey,
used all
Wendy,
but one, actually.
there's
Yeah.
a cushion over there you can lay on. Since you know,
A large velvet cushion. Big enough for two of you to fit onto it comfortably, probably.
I mean, because that's where Birdie's laying, right, on the cushion.
Wendy runs up this pillar and perches on the top.
Now that the heat source is gone, is this pool still roiling?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
It's still giving off warmth, but I mean, it's going to cool rapidly now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Red will take out his bedroll. Did you ever get any? You don't have any birds, do you, Birdie?
like, I have the stuff to make some cat food. Probably, I could probably make cat food with what I have.
You should take a watch rotation just in case something horrible comes out of that pool, though.
Is anybody
fine.
going to be working on the sarcophagus during this time, or is everybody taking a rest and we'll do that later?
I think everybody needs a rest, but
Everyone needs a rest, yeah.
Yeah, everyone
One
needs a rest. I'm only going to get hit dice back. I'm not going to be able to spend hit dice. I used them all.
Okay.
is it half hit dice? Is that the house rule?
Half the hit dice, yes.
That's actually I like that one. I always use that.
Actually, that's not a house rule. You always get half your hit dice back at the end of a long rest.
You just normally get HP. That's the house rule.
Yeah, you normally
yeah,
get
yeah.
full hit points.
That's right.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was actually my house rule in 4E was half hit dice. Or something.
So yeah, we should take a watch rotation for this, just in the off chance.
2/8.
I'll take first watch. Who will take next watch?
The balancing factor of that is that we don't actually do 6 to 8 random encounters in between long rests.
There we go.
That's fine.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
None of us have ever complained.
No, I think it's a good rule. I like there being some attrition. It's better than make everything a week on the DMG. Yeah, I'll take second watch.
Third watch, volunteers. Well, I guess it's between Adrex and Birdie because
Birdie's
that
asleep.
sounded kind of
Third
dark
watch.
down over there.
Adrex will do third watch.
All right, Birdie, you're gonna take a watch.
I'm getting stuff.
He's asleep already.
Okay.
You're going to take a watch. Birdie, you're going to take a watch. Not negotiable.
I mean, you can wake him up later, but he's asleep right now on this nice velvet cushion. It's wonderfully
I
soft.
have a thing of dry paper towels if you want to get some wet paper towels.
I'm glad we have the paper towel situation covered.
Yeah, the paper towels
I
are
was
good.
worried about that. Go ahead and take the benefits of the long rest.
Like it did.
Your random encounter table was nice to you.
I'm
On
not
Adrex's
7.
watch, he's flying up a post, getting halfway, getting tired, and then flies the rest of the way up. As practice.
You can fly more than halfway. They're only 30 feet tall.
Yeah, but it's Adrex.
Okay.
He's still learning.
I mean, you can dash up. You can dash straight. You can fly 40 feet instead of just 20 and around.
Yeah, go ahead and take the benefits of the long rest. It's more or less uneventful. Birdie, you sleep very fitfully for some reason on this cushion. But it does not inhibit your rest. It's just not as comfortable as you imagined it would be after a few hours of laying on it.
Okay.
It's lumpy.
Alright, so I guess we up for a nice old day of excavation? Yeah?
So who's doing the work? You do have 2 sets of hammer and chisel now.
Yeah, I'll do some excavation.
Okay.
What the hell?
I'll work with Wendy
I'll
on
toss
that.
you my old set.
It's going to
Okay.
take 8 hours total of work. So you guys can do 8 hours in 2 shifts, or you can get it done in 4 hours if you both work together the whole time.
Let's work together.
While they're doing that, can I identify these items?
What items would you like to identify, good sir?
many as you would let me identify, starting with... if I can find the right tab here. Starting with... Wand G.
Do we still have the coinage on that, on the unclaimed coins, or did that get deleted at the end of the last session?
We handed that. No, it's over there on the...
It's okay. It's still there. All right.
Hey, Adrex. Before we get started on this, can you toss me a healer's kit?
Mm-hmm. I can.
And how many charges are you spending on Wands G?
1 charge.
5 HP. Yay!
And it's +2 for every charge, right?
I do believe so. I'll double check.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
+2
Oh,
for
plus-
every charge.
Plus creature's level.
It's intelligence
Keep forgetting
arcana?
that.
I'm gonna blip that because it was a straight 1.
How do we keep track of gemstones that we have on the currency?
That's a 30.
A 30.
No, 25. Excuse me.
25.
Right.
It's a wand of detect magic. It doesn't work as per the spell. The spell gives you basically the ability to discern magic in your area in its 30-foot radius around you. This wand, you basically point it at something, expend a charge, and you determine if an object or an effect or whatever you point out is magical. It gives you an instantaneous reading for 1 charge.
Okay.
This is how I've been wanting detect magic to work for 4 years playing this game.
We do that, except we just let things target red.
Yeah, you can do. You've got 8
How many-
hours, so you can. It takes 1 hour to do one.
How many charges does it have? Do I know?
2, because you've used one to. Who
2
has
out
that
of
one,
1.
by the way?
I
Sorry?
currently have it. I currently have everything until I.
Are you going to hand it off, or are you going to hold on to it?
Does anybody else want it?
Detect magic seems like it's all you.
Okay, well I'll hold on to that then.
Okay. Now what?
Does it regain charges at a rest, or is it just whatever? That's fine. 2 charges.
It will regain charges, but I don't know how yet because I forgot
Okay.
that it was going to have to do that. So
Okay, so let's see. We'll start with Spellstone G.
Spellstone G.
That is, again, if I can find the right tab.
A gun.
That is a 16.
16. This contains the spell Gentle Repose. This is a low-level spell that's basically designed to keep corpses from rotting, so they can be properly interred. And thinking about it, this must be how they're keeping this pool of amniotic fluid from congealing or rotting away.
This is probably going to start stinking pretty quickly, I imagine.
Especially now that you've turned the heat off.
Right.
It's going to be
All
jelly
right.
by the end of your long rests.
Scroll K.
Are you keeping the spellstone?
Does anybody want it?
No.
I mean, I'll give it to Raazu. Here you go, Raazu.
Raazu, you have a spellstone of Gentle Repose.
Okay.
Alright, what else?
This is Scroll K. And that is a 23.
Scroll K is a scroll of dancing lights.
Okay. All right.
Are you keeping
Scroll
that
J. Yeah, I'll keep it for now.
one? Okay.
That is a 13.
13, you have no idea what Scroll J is.
All right, I'll try that again later. Potion S. Taking 1 sip.
Potion S, the one with thin violet liquid,
Yep.
is cursed, and you are compelled to drink the whole thing.
I don't get a saving throw?
You get a saving
Darn.
throw against the spell's effects.
Okay.
It is I believe a
Well-
wisdom saving throw. I'm going to double check.
Well, that is a 10.
I ain't gonna do it.
You drink this potion, and like I said, you feel compelled to drink the whole thing down. This has happened to Birdie before.
Right.
So this feeling of dread takes hold, tightening in your chest as you bottoms up this bottle, and this lavender-flavored sparkling water filters down your throat.
Ugh, it's terrible.
You feel a tightening in your throat for a moment. Like constriction. And the tightening loosens a little bit, but it doesn't loosen all the way.
Am I choking to death or anything
No,
of that nature?
you are not.
Can I release the magic somehow?
How do you intend to do this?
I have pointed at the wall and I don't know. Do the motion for a Kamehameha wave.
You do that, and nothing happens. You just look silly.
Okay. I guess we'll just go on to the next potion.
Okay.
Potion T.
This is the one that's empty.
It appears empty.
It
You
appears
said
empty, but it is not. And this, you take a sip out of it. It is a potion of invisibility.
okay, and that is a 22 potion.
Do we have tea and no tea?
Anything
Alright.
else?
Nope, that is everything I have.
All right. Down here at the sarcophagus, you guys spend the better part of 4 hours chiseling away, clearing away rubble at the base of this dais. And you find that the actual tube connecting the bottom of the sarcophagus to this like little cube of space underneath is lined with metal. And it takes some work to actually wrench this free. You got this length of copper or bronze tubing. After you get that free and you're able to work the stone around, reaching down into the little... Who's actually reaching down into here to lift this object out?
Not
Raazu
probably
will.
Windy.
Oh.
Both of us.
Both, like, so each of you reach down one hand, and what you pull out, it looks like a human heart. It has the shape, the valves coming off of it, but it's very light, it's definitely hollow, and it's made out of solid metal. It's very well polished. In fact, you can feel a layer of oils on the surface of it and inside of like the valves and tubings of it. It's very easy to clean off, and it has a very nice shine to it. And it has all of these intricate carvings or inlays that don't make much sense to you, but you recognize similar styles of carving and inlays on the metal men that you encountered while in the Red Dragon's realm.
This seems like a Birdie thing.
Yeah, let's take it back up to Birdie.
All right, so while they're doing that, Brick, here's what I would like to do. So overnight, any problem? Poison kit thing? Working on development with that?
No problems.
Okay. I'm going to take my climber's kit, and I'm going to pit my way up this wall. And I'm going to spend 4 hours doing that.
Okay. Climbing up the wall?
Yep. And Adrex, if you want to come along, pop up every now and then and give me some encouragement. I'm going to see how high this goes.
Okay.
I'm good at that. I'm good at encouragement.
After 40 or 50 feet, it actually becomes more and more difficult to climb. Not because of the wall itself, but because the winds get stronger the higher up you go. Adrex, you notice it too. You're buffeted about quite a bit the higher up you get. After 40 or 50 feet or so, continuing past that point, it's going to start becoming dangerous. This is just barely the point where you can just make out the floor below you.
So with the kit, I'm just hammering a pit in, and I have a safety rope at all points, so I'm going to just keep going up.
Okay. So what is your intention to happen if you get knocked off this wall? The safety rope just catches you?
Yeah.
Okay. Adrex,
That's why it takes forever. That's why I'm spending hours doing this. It's like, it's like that scene in Game of Thrones.
Adrex, are you going up with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Let's get a
Sounds like a great idea.
strength athletics check from Adrex.
Strength athletics.
We'll get one from Red, too, to hold on to this rope.
That should be
9.
higher.
A
That is
9?
a 15.
A 15. Adrex, you're buffeted around a bit, but you managed to keep your wings. In Red, you reach a point where this gust of wind, after you climb up another 20 or 30 feet or so, just rips you off of this wall. And you swing downwards on your safety rope, losing ground.
I'll pull myself back up the rope and keep climbing.
Keep going?
Yep.
Nobody's got a light source, right?
Adrex would have the Famor,
Okay.
since there's nothing threatening to rust his Famor.
It would have been bad times if you had stabbed that golem with a Famor.
Oh, I bet.
I was actually hoping to get Raazu's trident. That was my goal. But... what is... Well, first of all, let's get a second check from both of you.
Yep.
Strength athletics again.
It's an 8.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm sorry, not a perception check, a passive perception. As you're
I
climbing.
didn't hear that anyway, but my passive perception is 21.
What's Adrex's?
Passive perception is 11.
Oh, these were your strength checks. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Got
10.
That's a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's 8 on red.
Adrex.
Uh-oh. That's a lot of dice.
$28 points of bludgeoning damage
Ugh.
as this wind gust just comes under your wing, knocks you into a tailspin. You come crashing down to the ground. Red, you're once again knocked free. But before you are this time, looking at this far wall, after you get close to 100 feet up or so, you see large tunnels intersecting with the chamber, and these seem to be the sources of the wind gusting out at irregular intervals. You can see 2 or 3 of them spaced kind of evenly along this back wall from your position, 100 feet up off the floor. So past that, your dark vision doesn't apply.
Can I start moving horizontally then to try and make my way over to those?
You can, but you're going to be making this check repeatedly as you go. How much rope do you have?
Well, I undo the pittance below me. I mean, I have 100 feet, but that's just how far I can fall, and I wouldn't be using that much. I mean, it'd be probably 10 feet of falling before the rope catches me.
Okay.
Like, I don't have a rope trailing up. I remove a pit and then free it. That's why it takes forever to use this.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can make your way over. Go ahead and give me that check. I guess it doesn't matter since...
well, maybe exhaustion. That's a 10 finally.
It is grueling work. Adrex, are you
Another
flying
10.
back up to meet him?
I also have a climber's kit. And that's starting to look like a much better idea now.
Okay. So after a few moments labor, you do manage to get over to the first of these tunnels, and there is blasts of air coming out of it periodically. When you make it to the corner, looking 60 feet along this wall, you see, let me think, 3 of these tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Are at the same height?
That's the edge of your dark vision. Yes, at the same height. Not only are they at the same height, but they seem to be deliberately made out of a different kind of stone than the walls. Like, these were built here by someone.
Yeah, let's see if I can't get to the lip of one of those tunnels.
Okay. And Adrex, you're using the same trick with the rope? With safety harness and everything?
Yeah, Adrex is climbing up where he sees Red going.
And you're no longer wearing plate armor. That's good. After the harrowing climb, you guys do manage to get to the lip of this tunnel. Red, you're coming over from the side, and Adrex, you're coming up from below. And it's just this dark tunnel. It's big enough for you to stand in easily.
I'm going to keep the safety harness and give myself about 20 feet of rope in case I get blown back out of it. And I'll climb into the tunnel and start walking down it.
Okay. You start moving down the tunnel, and you realize that it has a slope upwards. Mm-hmm. And you do have to brace yourself every few steps as the wind gets stronger and stronger as you move into this tunnel. And before long, you're at the edge of the rope, and it just stretches out in front of you.
Does it get narrow or anything like that?
It doesn't. In fact, it's wide enough around for you and Adrex to travel abreast.
Hey, Adrex, I'm going to hammer myself in here, untie my safety back there, and come up here with me.
You got it.
Okay, so what are you doing?
We're gonna just keep doing the same thing. Every 20 feet, we're gonna hammer in a new pit and tie off our safety ropes. We'll take turns so that one of us can untie the other at the back each time.
Okay.
Like good, responsible climbers.
Windy and Raazu, you guys bring this metal heart up to the throne where Birdie is resting, testing out all his magic toys.
Yep. Birdie, we found another one for you to test out.
Well, you may approach the throne.
You see Birdie's mouth move, but no sound issues forth. You have no idea what he said.
Birdie?
Birdie lets out a sigh, a very silent sigh, and points at his mouth and points at the empty potion bottle.
Do you have any more of those?
Raazu, with a world-weary look, just brandishes the whip at him for a minute.
No,
And then
wait,
sets the heart
Raazu,
in
this is
front
the
of him.
greatest potion of all time.
Raazu nods, then sets the heart in front of him.
And you guys can hear the hammering high above you as Red and Adrex are working their way further and further down this tunnel. It's echoing quite a bit.
Raazu looks up, hope they don't die.
Adrex, if you fall, roll!
Adrex, if you fall, try to glide.
What do you do with this heart?
I mean, I poke it.
It's made of solid metal. Very light. It's definitely not solid all the way through. It feels hollow. And very well oiled and well polished.
Are there any? You said it feels hollow. You said there's valves and things? Can you see inside of it?
Yeah, I mean, you can look in the tubings into the inside of it. Make me a... What are you doing? Just peering inside with your eye?
Right.
Okay. And, yeah, you just see the cavity on the inside.
I'm gonna try blowing some air through it.
It's blowing into one of the valves.
Yeah.
And it issues forth the other side. It travels through.
Well,
Definitely not a musical instrument. We've ruled that out.
But how good would that be if it were like a drow music made from an actual human heart?
Well, I guess the first thing I'm going to do is use one of the charges at once, since there's two charges on the... I'll point it at the... Use the one to detect magic on it.
Okay. And it is absolutely magical. It's radiating enchantment magic.
And that one doesn't have a command word?
You are not helping. Not
I
at
think I
all.
was.
I don't know, I think he's helping.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a fair question, though.
Let's see if the spell has a command word. I mean, the spell has a verbal component. I'm going to say most of these wands, unless stated otherwise, don't have command words. This one, you can just use the wand. It's a point. The real question is, does Hunger of Hadar have a verbal component?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
You might have to use your blips now for something else.
Yes, it's radiating enchantment magic.
Enchantment magic.
Make an Arcana check.
It is a 15.
15. Your best guess is that this is a literal heart. That, when it's working, will power the movement of one of these metal creatures. How it works, or how you, if you can put it to use, or like any other further information, you have no idea.
Okay, well, I will cut my hand and squeeze a little bit of blood in there, into one of the valves.
And a little bit of your blood trickles down into the inside of this metal heart. It was a good idea.
No, it wasn't.
Adrex, you and Red, heading through this tunnel, making 20 feet of work very laboriously. It gets to the point where you're not sure you can continue forward. The winds become that strong. But about that point, the tunnel starts to veer to the right, slightly. And shortly after that, you see a side tunnel connecting to it. This one is much narrower. You don't have to squeeze to get into it, but you can't walk shoulder to shoulder through it. And better, it seems to be dead. There's no air issuing through it. The air is coming through the main tunnel, and it's much, much calmer in this little connecting tunnel.
Should we go get everyone else?
Do you think everybody else could actually make their way up the ropes? Plus, it's not like we can, walk side by side. If you want, I'll go in front since I'm still wearing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll leave the rope and the harness at the entrance to this tunnel. I'll spin them in and then continue walking.
And it's only 20 feet or so before you feel blasting winds again, as this connecting tunnel reaches the second of the 3 large tunnels you saw from the wall.
Is there another connecting tunnel within range of my dark vision from?
Yes, looking on the other side of this main tunnel, you see another connecting tunnel.
Do I think I can time it so I can run across there between the wind blasts?
You could certainly try. It would definitely be a lot more safe if you just continue to use your rope and harness.
Okay, let's go back and get the rope and harness.
I am definitely willing to give you a percentage chance.
Okay, yeah, go back, get the rope and harness my way across.
Continuing this process a few more times, crossing the windy tunnel into a narrow connecting tube, you reach what must be almost the other side of the wall. So a good, what is this, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 or 70 feet, crossing through 4 of these wind tunnels and the connecting tunnels. And the 5th one, though, you have the large tunnel. There's no connecting tunnel on the other side, and there's no wind issuing forth from the main tunnel either. It just continues forward past where you enter it.
All right, Adrex, let's go.
You got it.
How long do you two intend to explore this tunnel?
I mean,
for as long as Red is willing to leave.
I mean, my thought is this is pretty much our day's activity. They had 4 hours to do that. I'm figuring at least 4 hours of climbing.
So you're going to spend...
Probably took an hour and a half to get up here at least, so
You're going to spend...
probably 2 or 3 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours is good. Let's go with 2 hours.
Roll initiative. Why, yes, I do have a random encounter table. Why do you ask?
That's a 1. Great.
That's not me. I mean, I did way better against the pillow.
I thought about making that pillow something terrible, like a mimic pillow or something, but there was enough gross stuff in here, I feel. Where is my random encounter list? Oh, there it is. Okay.
If you can't find it, then yeah, can't have a random encounter without a random encounter list.
I mean, you're right. You're definitely not wrong.
Why is there a dragon turtle in these tunnels?
I'll just use the purple one here. I do have to throw a dragon turtle at you at some point in this campaign.
No, you don't. You really don't.
I read this great story on Reddit that I wrote about on my blog, where these DMs and these players absolutely hated each other, so he made this impossible spider encounter. Anyway, unrelated to that, moving forward in this tunnel a little while, you notice a large amount of webbing along the floors and the walls, and then you hear a skittering sound as several giant spiders emerge out of the darkness, skittering towards you. They can climb 40 feet. Red, your dark vision is 60, right?
Yep.
Okay. If you continue in this direction, they're going to meet you on their next turn. And if you turn and move away but don't dash, they're going to overtake you. Because I don't... Red, you might have 40 feet of movement.
No.
You don't? Okay. If you turn and you don't dash, they're going to overtake you. Next, to bring us to Red's turn. Some number of these things.
If I move forward to meet them, am I in the webbing?
The further forward you move, the more of this webbing is going to ensnare you. I'll say if you move at half speed, you're in no danger of being caught up in this web at all.
want to ask here. So, if I move my speed forward to stab one of them, because you said, wait, they're 40 feet away right now?
They were 60 feet away when you noticed them with your dark vision. They moved 40 feet towards you. They're 20.
Okay, so if I move forward 20 feet, am I standing in web at that point?
Yes, you are.
Let's move back. So, let's say move back 10 feet. Adrex, come back here, we'll meet them, and ready in action to stab them when they come up to me. Pull out my rapier.
Okay, it's going to bring us to Adrex.
Yeah, alright. Back up. 10 feet. Hold in action. When they're in my threat range, I'm going to stab them with my Famor.
You hear a great amount of skittering as they come towards you. And you can feel, standing amidst the small amount of webbing that you're in, especially Adrex, because you don't wear shoes, you can feel the movement in the webbing, and you feel the stickiness as you pull your feet off the floor to move 10 feet back. There's a great number of these things ahead of you in the tunnels. 6 of them advance forward to meet you. So 1 each, you can use your reaction as they all enter your threat range.
Alright.
Should trigger held actions.
That'll hit an armor class of 22.
That's good.
17 for Adrex.
And this one's adjacent to Adrex now, right? If he's in line with me.
We'll just say all 6 of these are adjacent to both of you. There's this
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Spider cluster.
Just wanted to make sure before I started rolling damage.
17 also hits.
That'll do 32 piercing damage.
Okay, that one's very dead.
And that is 8 piercing and 12 fire.
And that one's also very dead. 4 left. I'll give 2 to each of you. That sounds right. So, Adrex, what's your new armor class?
Adrex's new armor class is 13.
13.
Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Well, Red, I've got a critical hit on you. That's the bad news.
Yep.
The good news is I don't get to roll poison damage against you.
You can roll it. Roll all the poison damage you want. I'm gonna uncanny that, obviously.
There's not much to uncanny because it's 3 points of piercing damage from that critical hit.
Yep.
And
Oh, God.
the second spider rolls a 1. Adrex, the first spider rolls a 1. Second one hits an armor class of 8.
That's a miss.
As these spiders start skittering up your legs and start biting into you. Red, the poison doesn't affect you. These guys are not as good as poison as you are.
Okay.
And it's now Red's turn.
Let's go ahead and stab the nearest one that's adjacent to either of us.
Okay.
That'll hit a yes.
That is their armor class.
For 26 piercing damage.
And a third one drops to the ground and turns over onto its back. Its legs all curl up towards the center mass.
Flip out a Dragonbone dagger, stab another one.
Okay.
It's an armor class of yes.
Yes.
Roll all the dice.
You really
Roll all
don't
the
need to roll
dice.
all the dice. I mean,
And then 2d2 for the ice. That does 6 piercing, and I'll just leave this as a d4. And 4 ice.
and 4 ice damage. Okay, yeah, that's enough. So you very
That's
quickly...
the end of Red's turn.
Okay. You're staying put there?
Yeah.
Adrex, there's 2 more of these spiders, and you hear much skittering out amongst the webs in front of you.
Hey, Red. A lot of skittering coming. And first attack.
Okay.
It's 27.
Hits armor class 27. That does hit.
Yeah. For 7 piercing and 3 fire.
Still alive, actually. Very bloodied, though.
Well, they can make a strength saving throw then.
Okay. I mean, it has a hit point left. 10 on a strength save. Better than I thought it would do.
Still fails.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to push it 15 feet away as it takes another 8 damage.
So yeah, I mean, you push its screaming, skittering corpse 15 feet away.
I bet I did. Alright, second attack.
Mm-hmm.
It's an armor class 28
Also hits.
for 9 piercing and 5 fire.
And that's enough. So those 6 are dead, but there are more where they came from. How long do you guys want to
Adrex.
stand here fighting spiders?
You know, Adrex, there were webs of horror in the Feywild where that was forged. Maybe the Feymore will do something to them.
Sorry, what was that? You broke up there.
That was a really oblique reference to The Hobbit. Try lighting the webs on fire with...
Yep. One step ahead of you, as Adrex lights the webbing on fire with his Feymore.
So, in that story that I read, that's exactly what the players did. And then they all complained when it set the surrounding forest on fire.
So the cave lights up.
And as the fire ignites through this webbing, which it does with some difficulty. Apparently spider webs aren't super flammable, I found out, looking up information. But yeah, in the illumination, you see hundreds of these eyes, these spiders all along the floor and the wall, and they're screeching and skittering as the flames lick backwards towards them. And they retreat some distance, but not out of sight of Red's dark vision.
Maybe head back down?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are here playing with this heart for a few moments. When you start hearing the hammering sounds again. And Red and Adrex emerge from the far end of the hall. Over on
All
the
right,
other side of the
Adrex,
pool.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pitten in my own rope. It's about 100 feet down. I think that'll cover most of it. I want you to pull it out and then fly down. And I'll pitten in my rope and slide down it.
Okay.
Flying.
We're easing you into it, buddy.
Okay.
To be
And then
clear,
once-
easing into it is the opposite of what Wendy did.
And once Red is down, he'll take the pit and very laboredly fly down
Okay.
to the ground.
And you land ungracefully next to Red.
Thump.
Good work.
I imagine Adrex doesn't actually land. He just comes about like 5 feet above the ground and then stops flying.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
So they're over on the other side of the room playing with this metal heart.
Hey guys, what's that?
Birdie can't talk.
Wow,
Birdie-
that's great.
Birdie is
that
tall.
Is that because something with the heart?
He makes the.
No.
Birdie's
But
just
we-
mouthing like just all kinds of like obscenities, just and pointing at people while he's
Raazu
looking at
is
this heart.
just enjoying this far more than she probably should.
Is that a curse? Can you remove it, Raazu?
Maybe.
Can and want.
Yeah, that's.
So I'd like to point out that like this is the second time Birdie has had
You
a
can't point anything out because you're mute.
right. This is the second time Birdie has had a cursed potion. The first time he was blind. Now he can't speak. So we're at see no evil, speak no evil. The next time I'm going to go deaf.
Let's get deaf in him.
Here's the thing. My poultices only work on diseases or poisons, so I can't remove curse. Sorry.
Maybe it'll wear off.
Maybe.
So the
Give it a day.
there are a number of cross tunnels in the shaft. They seem to be producing a lot of wind. It's very hard to fly or climb up there. We made our way to the end of the last one, which didn't have any wind, and it was filled with spiders.
Maybe there's another solution.
Large spiders, not like, you know.
Where'd you find
How
the
many spiders?
We found there was.
we-
it was.
We killed 6. I counted at least 80 eyes, so that's another.
So that's another 10?
Yeah. But I don't know how many more beyond that.
We found the heart down in the, beneath the sarcophagus while you were up there when you were up there climbing.
And
It's magic, as far as we can tell.
I still haven't been able to figure out how
Oh,
this
man,
connects
it
to a
was a
stair
lich.
or a rung or whatever.
He
Like,
totally
that's to
was
me.
a lich.
Do we have to activate it in some way? Do we have to gain control of it?
What's the next
no.
rung?
Well, I
The
don't
next
think they were in any
rung-
particular order.
No, they were in a specific order in the poem. Yeah.
The poem
The House of
was
Music.
Let me get my notes here.
a house of music, a house of shadow, a house of torment, a house of tyranny.
House of so what I
Do spiders sound like something in a House of Shadow?
yeah I think so. Especially if it was really dark up there. Yeah.
Should we find some way to deal with the spiders then?
I mean, we could. Yeah, that last tunnel doesn't have any wind. Adrex can fly up, a pit and a rope, and we can all go up. It's only wide enough for two of us.
While they're talking about all this, Birdie is just like shoving random things into the heart, onto the heart to see if he gets a reaction.
No such reaction.
Darn.
Trying to build a trash golem to put this heart in?
That's basically what he was doing, actually.
How long were we actually walking through that tunnel before we ran into the spiders?
Probably a little over an hour at least.
Okay.
Because yeah, you guys took maybe 2 hours to do all that climbing. I mean, it was a good fair ways.
No, the fair is
don't
over.
need-
We destroyed the Calliope.
We don't have any better ideas. I still don't understand what we're supposed to do here to...
Yeah, things don't seem complete here. I gotta.
You'll just like kind of look around and say, like, I feel like we dealt with this area. We climb a rung, and Windy points up. Let's keep climbing.
Birdie, before we go, like Birdie in Thieves' Camps asks Red to ask Windy to give him the Legend Lore Stone
Can't speak.
with the hand signals.
Yeah, thieves can't include hand signals.
Includes hand signals, but you still need verbal. You still need to verbally speak in order to use it.
Okay. Well, then he's just making give me motions at Windy.
Do you have that stone, Windy? I'm guessing that's what he wants.
What stone?
The one that lets you see lots and lots of things. The one for the trees.
Yeah, I have it. Oh, you're saying he thinks I should use it on the heart?
Sure.
I can't make that much out from what he's trying to say.
Use it on the heart? Huh, boy?
All right. Birdie throws the heart at your head.
Windy catches it and just says, "All right, a little too far. I got it, Birdie. I'm sorry."
It's difficult to take either of you seriously right now
Listen,
because
Like-
Windy looks like a plucked chicken.
And is blind.
Windy did apologize.
listen. If Birdie wouldn't have gotten it thrown back at his head, he would have thrown it hard enough. If you were not a monk, I would have made an attack roll.
So Windy, what are you doing with the heart?
Yeah, let's use Legend Lore on it.
Okay. And you see an image of dwarves in a very rich dwarven hall. Rows and rows of smiths working anvils, banging out sheets of plate armor. See another collection of dwarves affixing the armor together, very carefully and delicately putting all the joints together and making sure they're well oiled and that they move. Building these metal bodies that look very similar to the one that you fought in the sarcophagus chamber. The difference between the two is this one's not rusted, it's pristine looking. It has the same kind of sheen and polish as the heart that you're holding. The last thing that they do is one of the dwarves gets up underneath the armor and carefully removes the codpiece, climbs up inside, carrying a device that looks like this heart. Except the one that he has in his hand is alive with movement. It's beating. And the metal doesn't have give the way that flesh and muscle do, but there are many intricate overlaid parts that lets the metal slide over and around each other. And it's very beautiful and mesmerizing to watch this heart that's actually pulsing. And he climbs up into this suit of armor. And when he climbs back down, replaces the codpiece of the armor back, 2 elves that had been standing by approach. And they speak something in their elvish tongue. And when they do, the creature comes to life and gains sentience. And they hand it a gargantuan battle axe. And then you snap back too, holding the heart in one hand and the legend lore stone in the other.
And I'll share what I saw with the others, and I'll say, so this one's not moving. Maybe it's broken?
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Maybe you'd need to build a new body and do that elven incantation again.
Oh, this is going to be funny as hell. Birdie, make an intelligence arcana check.
You see anything like that in the book of elven magic?
Oh, wow. Look at that. It's a 20. Birdie, you listen to this story, and thinking about the battle that you fought in the sarcophagus room, the nature of this heart, you piece together what has happened here is that the magic used to bring this thing to life, the magical incantation that Wendy spoke of, you obviously don't know it. None of you are experts on elves, last I checked.
Wait a
Excuse me.
second.
Objection.
But you tried to stab it with a magic dagger, and it ate your dagger. And then you shot it with a magic arrow, and it ate your arrow. You're thinking the residual magic of those weapons, the fact that it was trying to take the blue light torch and Adrex's Famor away, that residual amount of magic was enough to give this heart just enough life to cause this thing to come to life in some form once again. Of course, now the body of the thing is destroyed. But the heart remains intact. It's powered by magic. And you have no way of telling anybody that.
Birdie will make another
And then he lost his heart and became a lich. I'm telling you, that's what happened. Doesn't that make sense?
I mean, it makes some sense.
Yeah, no, that adds up. Do you want to fly up there, pitting in, and we can go do some spider crawls?
Yeah, so that's like a good idea.
Yep. I think we're done here.
Okay. It is a little over an hour journey into the tunnel as you climb up in. And like I said, the winds up there are still pretty great, but none are blasting out from this particular hole. And you find the site where Adrex and Red fought off these spiders and burned most of their webs. Let's see if there's still any hanging around. There aren't by the time you get there. The spiders
Are there corpses still here?
Oh, yeah.
Can I
Chase
harvest some
them up.
spider venom from those?
The spider venom. There were 6 spiders.
Google. Brick rapidly Googles, does spider venom burn?
Roll a d6.
Sure.
So that's how many intact venom sacs you're able to collect.
5.
Okay. Yeah, 5 of them have intact venom sacs still. One of them had been emptied out into you, but you didn't care.
Yeah. What's
We'll just call it a contact
find rules
poison.
for
You
spider
can
venom?
apply to a
Oh,
weapon. It does 2d6 poison damage.
What's the save DC?
Oh, save DC is 11.
And is it half damage on a fail or no
It's
damage?
half damage on a fail. It's a DC 11 con save.
Okay.
So yeah, Red takes a moment to autopsy these remaining spiders and remove their disgusting venom sacs. Did you put the cat back in your pack? Or
Yeah.
is the cat padding along?
The cat was not. I did not bring the cat the first time we climbed up, but since I think we might not be heading back that way,
Okay.
yeah, I'll put the cat back in my pack. I've done my best to secure everything in the pack so the cat cannot mess with it.
No, every long rest
I
you're
don't
going to
think
have
that's
to
going to work.
completely reorganize the pack again.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
And it's a long journey. And by long journey through these tunnels, I mean several days as you're making your way through. There's frequent side tunnels, drop-offs deep into the earth. Sometimes you're climbing vertically straight up of walls. Sometimes you have to send exploratory like exploratory journeys down several different tunnels to find which one is the correct one. A lot of times you hit dead ends and have to double back. You find underground lakes and grottos. You find little dens, caches of large insect eggs. You have a few run-ins with mountain denizens, the likes of Grimlocks and Kobolds and what have you. Until... Who's taking point?
Raazu will.
Did
Raazu.
Birdie's voice come back, eh?
No.
And can we get in a long rest at some point at the end of the first day?
In these tunnels... I'm going to say no because you don't have a good way to defend yourselves. You're out in the exposure of it.
Yeah, I'll be in the back then.
Raazu.
Hey.
Moving forward down one of these tunnels, you spent most of the day yesterday exploring what ended up being a dead end and having to double back. And coming back and taking a different fork, putting your boot in the ground, instead of the dusty stone, it hits wood. There's wood in the floor here.
Okay.
You look down and brush the dust away, and there's this wooden plank that makes this kind of path along the stone.
Call the attention to the others.
And you follow your eye line. It veers off to your right, down a little side passage. One of many twisty side passages along this portion of the caves. And a few feet into this side tunnel, you see wooden braces, a wooden archway, and eventually a wooden ceiling. And it becomes very straight and narrow at that point. You follow it for 30 or 40 feet, and it dead ends. All that's at the end of this dead end is a very tiny wooden table, kind of unstable. One of the legs is cracked off, and it's just kind of leaned against the corner of this wooden hallway. And sitting on top of it is a half-burned candle in a little brass candle holder.
Someone lives here.
Is there anything else in the room aside from the table and the candle?
It's not even much of a room. It's just this wooden hallway that dead ends where this little table is set up here. And I mean, there's dust and cobwebs over everything around. If somebody lives here, they haven't been here in some time.
All right.
Are there any tracks in the dust? Any place that's been disturbed recently?
Only your own.
Well,
Guess we take it quietly from here on, just to see if there's anybody.
Hey, Birdie. Do you make sound when you stomp your foot right now?
Birdie will stomp his foot.
Yeah, it makes sound.
Damn.
It sounds more petulant than normal.
Okay.
Does
Birdie-
it? Is that possible?
Birdie's going to just walk over and light the candle.
Okay. And it illuminates this little dead end area. And it's just these old, semi-rotted wooden planks forming the floor and the walls and the ceiling here.
If I, how high up is the ceiling?
I mean, you could reach up and touch it with your
Okay.
arm, so it's not more than.
If I can get to one of the places where the wood is rotted in the ceiling and just kind of pull it away to see if the shaft continues up at all, or if this is just wood over the existing tunnel.
Are you using a tool to do this, or are you just going to use your hands?
I have gloves, but nothing else.
Just get your fingers in there. Make a strength check.
I mean, crowbar.
Well, I was told it was rotting. I assumed this isn't going to take a lot. 7?
A 7. You get your fingers up and over it, and your knuckles are not scraping against stone. The board that you've grabbed definitely does not sit flush with the stone of the ceiling. But you yank on it a few times, and even though it's rotted and it's got sodden areas, it's still pretty sturdy.
All right, I'm going to take that mysterious advice I heard about a crowbar, even though I didn't hear it in my head. Thieves can't crowbar motion.
Like I would,
That's a 19.
like Birdie would have been like waving the crowbar at your face.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take the crowbar from.
Okay, that's a strength check at advantage.
Yeah, that's a 19 on that one.
You get the crowbar up, and you hear a crack as you pull this plank away. and the light of the candle illuminates a room above you.